Well guys, what is going on? Bearded Brix here with another weekly update. This week, things are going to be a little different. You're going to wonder why I have base plates that look like this, and I have all these boxes that look like this. And well, the truth is, I started taking apart the city. Main reason for that, everybody that's been keeping up with the city knows that I've had nothing but trouble with the road plates, figuring out how they're going to work, figuring out where they're going to snap down and everything else. I've set all the base plates, all the building back 6 studs to try to make up for that, and we thought I had it mathematically, but it just did not. Last week I finally finished the last part of the city on the back side. I set all the road plates down and it didn't line up. In order for it to make it work, I was going to have to create a ton of my own little sections to go on there, and I was just upset, and I was like, let's see if we could do something else. So what I ended up doing, with the help of this little guy and the help of this little guy, is I sat down and came up with the way it's going to work. So it's not going to be 100% Lego. Each time I display this, I'm going to have to lift these base plates up with plywood just a little bit, but it's going to be much cheaper, much easier, and I can still keep my whole plan with the city to not have to really completely start from scratch. Now, the other thing that's going to benefit is, with the new sections, everything will be bigger, deeper, and more in-depth. Now, to go into that a little bit, let me show you what I'm talking about. I will start with the first section with the comic book store. As you all know before, the comic book store was one of the corner buildings on the far right. It's set next to the Stark Tower. It had a arcade room above it, and above it was going to be Stanley's apartment. Beside of it was going to be a pizzeria that we gave to our buddy Chef, and then above it was just going to be some apartments and stuff like that. Well, I have still kept that same concept, but I have done it much more justice, much better depth and detail, and I think everything just looks so much cleaner. So here's the first section. As you can tell, that what I ended up doing was getting rid of the space between this and the road. So the road was going to connect 6 studs on here. What I ended up doing was stretching the sidewalk to 8, which initially makes the buildings much longer, much bigger, and it shows basically a lot more of what I can do on the inside of them and stuff like that. Now on the outside, I still think the building looks great. I've added some more details in it like these to kind of give it a better look, a better structural function, and it doesn't make it look so flat. So on this, I have kept everything I was going to do before. It is all still modular. It all still comes apart. There are still things like Stanley's apartment. I have went and added a bunch of things to this, made it kind of a lot more detailed. I put Captain America's shield back here. I got a little homage to Spider-Man going on. There will be some more things thrown in here, the characters that he created and stuff like that. Then as you step down, I pretty much have the arcade room. The arcade room is not done yet. I have ordered some more arcade machines to go in here, and I finally figured out what I was going to put on the edge. Since it is a Marvel city, I thought it would be funny to do a Batman statue. I'm not really sure why. I just went with it. I had an extra figure, so I was like, why not just throw a steel face in there and call it a day? So with the comic book store, I kind of kept the same concept. I need to add some things right here and some more tiles. But as you can tell, I have turned it into a kind of like a toy store. Also, we got some Legos, some figures, some memorabilia, stuff like that. I have added a bunch of Star Wars stuff into it also. There will be much more done on the inside of this, but it all still stayed the same when it comes to the idea of having it as a comic shop. Then over here, what I'll eventually do is I need to put tiles on top of all these, but these will all be apartments on the inside, and then this will be a bar. So I've created a bar that kind of comes off and opens up, and you get Chef's Pizzeria. That is something new. Before, this was not a bar. Before, it was just supposed to be an apartment, and I kind of like this idea much better. Now with this idea, I do like it much better. It will become really challenging once I get to redo things like the Stark Tower and the Empire building, because that is coming. The Empire State Building will probably be the hardest one to redo, because I'm gonna have to make it a lot bigger. It's gonna have to be a lot more pieces. Now I might keep it the same height. I might raise it. I'm not really sure. I've only got about 2.5 feet till it hits the ceiling down here. So I'm not going to be able to make it too much higher. The same with the start tower. The start tower, I've got about 3 feet, maybe 4. And it's going to be hitting the ceiling also. Now, with these buildings being bigger, there is going to be a lot more detail inside of them, which is one of the things that kind of does suck, because from the outside, you're not going to be able to see it. But one of the things I will be able to do is pretty much finish the outside of this and then go in and create much more detail on the inside. And when I do the outside of it, there's going to be a lot more things going on. I'm getting rid of the Disney Tower. That will not be included anymore. One of the things that I'm going to do with that is all these apartments that are empty, all those rooms are just going to be filled with the apartment ideas I had in the Disney Tower. As I said it before, the Sentinel will no longer be in the city. It will be off to the side, kind of near like the X-Mansion type thing. The two buildings that are going to pretty much stay 100% the same is going to be the theater and the bank. I will have to take those apart and kind of remove them to another base plate, but when I do that, everything's going to stay the same. They might get a smidge bigger, but there's not going to be too much size difference in there, and they're going to stay the same height. That way that everything in the city will kind of be 2 to 3 stories high. Most buildings are going to be anywhere from 7 to 9 bricks tall. There's going to be nowhere there's any kind of variance or anything like that unless it is something special. The starting of the lawyer's office for Murdoch, I will be raising it. The first floor on that will be almost 15, just because of the simple fact that I want it to be like you're walking into a big lobby. I know as you're listening to this, you're probably thinking, man, I am so tired of you restarting the city. And believe me, I am too. I want this thing to be done, but it's just one of those things that I would much rather this happen now to when the city was 100% complete and I wasn't able to just kind of slide buildings across. The only thing I really did was take these apart, extend them, and put them on another base plate, and then use the next base plate to keep doing the same thing. With that, there will be a lot more scenes added in here. I will go back over when a section is 100% complete. I will be adding kind of a small video to show you all the things that are hidden inside. I'm not going to give away completely everything because, like I said, there will be scavenger hunts and stuff when we have the city set up at conventions, including the mob. The mob's still going to exist. A couple more things to look forward to in the next couple of weeks is there will be a ton more videos out. I will be doing more videos than just the city and us going live. There will be more Lego ideas videos. Also, I'm going to be telling you about what I think about the sets coming out and stuff like that. We kind of stepped back also. We're not going to be buying much Lego sets as we were. I want to step back from that just because the Lego sets that we have been buying just really don't do justice to what's out there. So we're going to be doing a little bit more things that I will talk about later in another video. So with that being said, remember guys, even if you are tired of me talking about rebuilding the city, this is the final time that it will be rebuilt. This will work. I've tested everything. The only thing I got to do is continue building. So please stick with us. Watch this journey. Don't forget, guys, always create. Let me know what you got. Let me see what you're building. Send me the videos. Send me some pictures. Do whatever you want to do to get the info to me. We are able to have a discussion board now on YouTube to where we can post things. But thanks for watching. Come back and see us. And I know the city is going to be rebuilt for the last time. Believe me, I promise. Thanks for watching.